So anything can be your manipulatives. I have this eggshells and both. When introducing at first for identification, you don't want to start children 1, 2, 3 or pointing at one. No, you want to bring the learning to life. You want to use a puzzle. You can use any type of puzzle whatsoever, and this is just a simple DIY puzzle you can make yourself. You this will help the child in identification of the numbers. When starting out, you can always try to make sure they do it in order. You are the one that will give it to them and say out the name of the number. You must have arranged everything before the class session with your child. So you call it out 5, 6. In fact, you might be the one to do it as well. Demonstrate it first so that the child will know exactly what is required of him or her to do. And make sure when you are starting out, start little. You can start from 0 to 3, and when they recognize that, you extend it to 6, then you extend it to 9. You get. So depending on the child you are working with, after you realize probably they have recognized, or you are still teaching recognition, you know, one-on-one teaching is mostly based on learner-centered, as in it's a learner-centered learning or teacher-centered learning. But the best is to do more of your learner-centered. So you want to introduce root counting and identification from 0 to 9. So probably you start from 0 to 2 to 3 to 5, you understand? Let it be one digit and make sure it starts from 0. So by the time you want to introduce the second digit, it is easy for you to explain to the child that this is 10. Make it into a pattern. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You get. So you explain to the child in a fun and interesting way. For example, so you want to introduce it to them in this pattern and explain to them, let them understand that this is 10, this is 11, this is 12. You get. This is 13, this is 14. The way you present it really matters. You don't need to tell them 1 on 1 11. They are so smart, they will get it. You can just tell them, you see, you just is a 1 with a 0 that makes 10. The 1 comes before the 0. You introduce it by writing, by using your movable alphabets, or the one you've written on flashcards, anyone, whatever you have. Let them understand it this way. So it's easy for you to, you see, you just add. When it gets to 20, you see, you continue the process. 20, 21, sorry, 22, 23, 24. You see, the sequence continues. So naturally, when you get to this point, if you do your assignment correctly, the rest actually becomes easy, because the next thing you need to do is to let them count in tens. You just teach them 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like it is here. 10, 20, you see, all through to 100, or yes, or you stop at 90 at first. That's quite better. So by the time you are when you get to this point, 20, 20, 21, 22, 29, and they see that the same sequence continues from 30, in fact a smart child, in fact an average child, if you present it very well, would be able to fix it from 40 all through to 99 if they already understand from 0 to 9, from there to 19 to 20 to 29, and they understand their tens as in they can count 10, 20 all through to 90. Most, even an average child will be able to complete all through to 99. So before you now start introducing 100, and don't be so in haste. Even if they understand it to 99, please be patient. Do a lot of games, call out a number 56, let the child look for it, and a fast way to teach them, let them understand from counting, like as in the ones are like this, the tens are like this, so they will understand. When you call out 30, they know okay 30, and when you say 35, they know 30 then 5, they quickly identify it. That's a fast way to raise fast math thinker, and it's very very helpful. So another way as well when you are introducing this is to use simple learning folder. So you can see in this learning folder, when I started out then, I started from 1 here. Actually I have another one, I started from 0, you understand. So and when we do this, I do say 0 is nothing, as in constantly. So these butterflies are just here to represent each number. So you can just proceed to using some other things to used with the butterfly. Make the child physically use their hands, put it, this is 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3. You see, if a child identify numbers with fun way, they understand the quantity, they know that there is a quantity attached to each number. Addition, subtraction, inshallah, becomes easy, and progresses to division, multiplication later in future, inshallah. When you are teaching children, one thing you want to have in abundance is foolscap sheets and your manipulatives, anything whatsoever. So I'm using a button here. So now just explain to the child how many goes into 0, then you let them know nothing. 0 signifies nothing and it means nothing. So how about 1? Then model it by showing them 1 button, 2 buttons, 1, 2. So if your child is able to write here, you can make it further fun. You can ask your child to write it, 0, 1, 2. But if they can't write yet, it doesn't matter, and you might even do the activities without writing, you understand. Just be creative and make it fun, and always have your learner in mind. So now you can just have them say 2 and they count 2. So when you want to introduce addition, it's actually very easy, like 2 plus 2, so 2 plus another 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand? So as time goes on, the more they practice, it makes it more interesting. So by doing this, the child really don't need to write. So if you have a child that doesn't like writing, that writing doesn't interest the child, this is actually a fun way to let them do mathematics. They are getting this concept is abstract, but you are bringing it practical, as in into life. You are bringing the learning alive and into their subconscious mind. You'll be surprised one day you just say, Aisha, can do 2 plus 2, and you just see she goes 2 plus 2. Even without counting, she will tell you 4 as time progresses. So bring learning to life. And if the child can write, so after doing this, you can just have them have their notebook and put it down. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. You have them write it down, and when it's time for them to count in tens, or they want to do larger addition, it becomes actually very easy. 10 plus 5, they just go, because they already know by now at the time you want to introduce it that this is 10, so they just go 10 plus 5. In fact, without counting, they'll just tell you 10 or 11, 12, 13, or some of them just say 10, 5, and go 15, and like that they find math very interesting and alive, and they get the concept. So okay, so these are examples of living books. I don't sell books actually, but this is just samples to show you. So when you want to get books, you'll be intentional when selecting books. So these books, for this one actually will teach your preschooler how to count. You understand? Because there are some children that they learn through this way. When you tell them stories about it, you read about it. You see, this one too is about counting, colors, sizes, and all that. And this one is about telling time. It's about telling time, and this one is about sizes. So okay, let's see this first. You see, very simple story a child will understand. One house. You see, they understand the quantity, the symbol that represents 1. They understand the quantity that is 1, and somehow, if they are old enough, or as with constant reading, they get familiar with the spelling. And but for this age, obviously the intention is not for them to be able, except for if you have probably a child that's just reading and you just want them to go through it again. But when you are reading it to the child at that early age, you don't, the intention is just for them to understand the concept of 1 means 1, and the symbol that symbolizes 1. So as an intentional mom, you have an auditory learner, kinesthetic learner, and a visual learner, and you want to make sure the learning, everyone gets it, or even if it's just one child. So you might just get something like, this is a pipe cleaner. Sisters, just make use of whatever you have, So this is a pipe cleaner, and this is a bead. You can get these at craft stores. I get them at craft stores. Yaba again. So wherever you are, just try to locate a craft store. So just have the child fix 1 bead, so it brings the learning into more fun and engaging way. You can just make it into a ring, a wristband, whatever. Just the concept is make learning fun. 2, and you can also have a model. If you have a little house, that just came to mind while I'm just saying this. If you have a little house toy, you can just put it. 2 cooks. You see, there are 2 cooks. You can bring something like a food, or still you take your pipe cleaner and you have your child fix 2 beads. This process will make it register more. 1, 2. So maybe your child is already learning colors. You can make it more alive by saying, probably fix it to yellows or so, yeah, like that. Okay, sorry, that break was very, very necessary. So okay, you can see 3 rabbits, and you count how many rabbits do we have here. 1, to just bring the learning fun and alive. And this one, you see, that is Osborne. These are Osborne books. That's not my taller and shorter. So it's just a story about frog is taller than mouse but shorter than a duck. This will help later. This is a very good maths concept that a child needs in later life. you know. You see, mean cat is taller than a dog. It helps them. It's a math concept that is very very good, that will be very very useful to them when they understand the concept of bigger and smaller, when you want to start telling them which number is bigger, because when they understand quantity and you want to start teaching them 10 is bigger than 20 sorry 10 is bigger than 5, by seeing the what's it called, the quantity, even without anyone telling them, they would have known that, oh, this is bigger, because this is something that is already registered in their unconscious mind. Okay, this is about time. You see, when you are starting out, you want to teach the child clock on the hour, and that's exactly what this books is all about. O'clock, you see, on the hour, 9 o'clock, all through, and it comes with story. So there are tons of books actually. You don't need to look for this book specifically. You can get a better one. This is just a guide, you understand. So when you are sourcing, you know the books to source. So everyone that has always been saying I should share a book, I hope you take note. So you see, this teaches colors, and quantity. See, and it's a very the story is much, so you just make sure you bring learning to life. Don't just read, for example, you just pick up the book and say one fish, two fish, red. No, oh, one fish, look at the fish, is yellow. In fact, yeah, even talk about the fish to make the learning register. Oh, we have two fish. Oh, they are both yellow. They are smiling, you know. Who created the fish? Allah, subhanallah, tabarakallah. You bring tawhid into the situation, and you know, red, mashallah, red is so beautiful, and a blue fish. You know, use different voice, different tone. So that's it about the living books. I believe by now you get the concept of living books. You can even use it together with your abacus, probably even while you are reading something like this. You can just bring in, okay, let's look at the 10 and 5, which is bigger. So this is another way. I will drop a printables you can print for this purpose, but in the spirit of Ramadan I made it of dates and jaw, so the child will sort it. So for example, let's say okay, 1, make sure to always practice it, explain it, demonstrate it. 1, 2, you get 1, 2, 3. You can be intentional by making them the same colors, you understand. So you let them, the point is always let them learn quantity with identification. So like this, they understand the sizes, that numbers is not just numbers, they have quantities. And most of us have these blocks there. You can as well use it for counting, you can use it for sorting. Even this, you can use it for sorting, but you can use bottle tops, you know. But make sure all this should be under supervision, for the sake of Allah. Make it to be under supervision. So these blocks are some by ones. See, you can sort it in colors. You can have them sort. Sorting means to separate the colors. So I think we have other ones too in ones. So now probably they are sorting yellow. From yellow, you can let them make patterns: yellow, blue, yellow, blue. you can make yours and ask them to make theirs. These are math concepts that really make the child interested in math, understand math, and love math. This can be used to teach division. Let's say this is a O. No, there is another one to make it 4. Okay, let's just, for this class purpose, this is 4. So what is half of 4? 2. You know, what is an half of 2 again, which is a quarter of 4? 1. You understand? You can just you can even use 4 pieces from the beginning and make it into a O, divide into half, into quarter, you get. So these are just some simple ways to, and when teaching multiplication, you can also use this to teach multiplication in a very fun way. If your child already understands the counting in twos, after the normal recognition of the roots counting, they understand the number quantity, they understand counting in tens, counting in twos, 5, counting in twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You understand? You can see all through our learning, a child can actually learn without writing. And when all this actually sinks, writing become easier actually, and that's the bitter truth. So don't let writing be a barrier for you not teaching your child what you need to. Just follow the interest of each child and enjoy. So as I can see, all this can be used for any language whatsoever. This is the Arabic numbers: Sufur, Wahid, Isnan, Salasa, Arba, Khamsa. You see, so any language whatsoever, you can use it. Let the child learn, feel, and enjoy mathematics. Barakallah.